Namaskar. A warm welcome to World News, an Indian perspective on All India Radio. This is Manoj Singh Rana bringing glimpses of major developments of the day from across the globe. The headlines. Health Minister of India Dr. Harshvardhan presides over WHO Executive Board special session on COVID-19 response. India hands over 3,000 vials of remdesivir to Myanmar. Quad group foreign ministers to meet in Tokyo on the 6th of October. NATO calls for a ceasefire between Armenia and Azerbaijan in Nagorno-Karabakh conflict zone. Hepatitis C virus identifying scientists win Nobel Prize 2020 for medicine. And in sports, world number 3 Dominic Thiem enters his first straight French Open quarter-final. Health Minister of India Dr. Harshvardhan has said that emergency preparedness and risk management are key to address the health risks posed by emerging diseases. This will also help in the progress towards Sustainable Development Goal. Dr. Harshvardhan presided over WHO Executive Board special session on COVID-19 response virtually. He said therapeutic, diagnostics and vaccines are the only way out of this pandemic and it needs global collaboration. The Indian Health Minister said the World Health Organization is looked at to pave the way for a brighter and a disease-free world. The challenges like COVID pandemic demand a shared response and responsibility, which is the core philosophy of the WHO.
The whole world continues to look upon all of us here at the World Health Organization to pave the way for a brighter and disease-free world with the utter belief that we are all God's children. Even as the human tragedy caused by the pandemic of 35 million affected and more than 1 million dead breaks our hearts, we have to be conscious of the fact that billions around the world are looking at our organization with high hopes and expectations.
Meanwhile, India has been providing medical supplies to the countries in the fight against COVID-19. Indian Army Chief General M.M. Nadvane and Foreign Secretary Harshvardhan Shringla handed over 3,000 vials of remdesivir to Myanmar State Councillor Aung San Suu Kyi. The intravenous antiviral drug remdesivir is used to treat COVID-19. General Nadvane and Shringla are in Myanmar on a 2-day visit to Myanmar to further expand ties in areas like connectivity, defence and security. The Indian delegation called on Suu Kyi at Naypyidaw today. They discussed important bilateral issues. The foreign ministers of Quad nations India, the US, Japan and Australia shall be meeting in Tokyo on the 6th of October. The talks will focus on strategic and security challenges in the region. A joint strategy is likely to be discussed. Increased cooperation to promote their shared vision for a free and open Indian Pacific will be high on the agenda. Issues like China's dealing with the coronavirus, trade issues, new security law in Hong Kong and tension in the South China Sea are likely to figure in the deliberations. The Quad grouping is seen as a response to China's growing military assertiveness in the Indo-Pacific region. It will be the first meeting of Quad foreign ministers amid border tensions between India and China. The 2020 Nobel Prizes kicked off on Monday with the naming of the winners in the field of medicine. Harvey Alter, Charles Rice of the USA and Britain Michael Horton of the UK won the 2020 Nobel Prize for Medicine. Their work relates to identifying the hepatitis C virus which causes cirrhosis and liver cancer. While the Nobel Awards will go ahead as planned this year, they've been overshadowed by the coronavirus pandemic. The Nobel Foundation has cancelled the traditional banquet in December. It will hand over the medals and diplomas in a televised event rather than live in Stockholm. This is All India Radio giving you the world news. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg has called for a ceasefire between Armenian and Azerbaijani forces in Nagorno-Karabakh conflict zone. The death toll continued to rise from clashes in the breakaway enclave in the South Caucasus as the fighting between two forces continued over the region. Meanwhile, Armenia has alleged that Turkey is involved in the conflict. It accused Turkey of sending fighters from Syria to the region. Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan said earlier this week a ceasefire can be established only if Turkey is removed from the South Caucasus. On Thursday, leaders of Russia, France and the United States, co-chairs of the Minsk Group, issued a joint statement calling for an immediate ceasefire in the region. Today is the World Habitat Day. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres in his message said that 1 billion people live in overcrowded settlements with inadequate housing. He called for action to provide low-income families and vulnerable populations with affordable housing and easy access to water, sanitation and other basic services.
Each year, World Habitat Day focuses attention on the state of the world's towns and cities. This year's observance highlights the centrality of housing as a driver for sustainable urban development. Currently, 1 billion people live in overcrowded settlements with inadequate housing. By 2030, that number will rise to 1.6 billion. Action is needed now to provide low-income families and vulnerable populations with affordable housing, with security of tenure and easy access to water, sanitation, transport and other basic services.
In an exclusive interview to All India Radio Country Programme Manager, UN Habitat India, Parul Agrawal underlined the importance of Sustainable Development Goal number 11 for India on sustainable cities and communities.
SDG 11 aims to make our human settlements and cities sustainable, inclusive, safe and resilient. And we are very thankful for the Government of India and the Ministry and all the partners for their support and for their collaboration. Our main project at the moment are looking at a whole breadth of work, consultation with looking with the need, the urban challenges in India at the moment. One of our main flagship projects is on sustainable cities and communities.
Now let's take a look at the coronavirus updates from around the world. According to WHO data, the number of infected cases has crossed 35.02 million worldwide. New Zealand's Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern said that the country will lift coronavirus restrictions in its largest city, Auckland, this week. She expressed confidence that a second COVID-19 wave has almost been eliminated in the country. In India, the recovery rate among the COVID-19 patients has improved to 84.34%, while the total number of recoveries is about to reach 5.6 million. The World Health Organization said on Monday that roughly 1 in 10 people may have been infected with the novel coronavirus. It has left a vast majority of the world's population vulnerable to the related COVID-19 disease. In another development, the WHO has submitted a list of experts to take part in an international mission to China to investigate the origin of coronavirus for consideration by Chinese authorities. The 12th Brics Summit will be held on the 17th of November 2020 via video conference. The theme of the meeting of the leaders of BRICS countries, which includes Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa, is BRICS Partnership for Global Stability, Shared Security and Innovative Growth. Moving on to sports, in the French Open, world number 3 Dominic Thiem has entered into 5th straight men's quarterfinal. He joins Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal in the last 8. In the Indian Premier League cricket, Delhi Capitals set a target of 196 runs for 4 wickets against Rajasthan Challengers Bangalore. In its reply, Royal Challengers Bangalore has scored 75 for 4 wickets in 12 overs as per the latest updates. India is celebrating the 151st birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. Before we end, let us listen to Vaishnavajan by artists from Cyprus. And with that, we end this bulletin. See you at same time tomorrow with the next edition of World News.